In this video, we're going to cover the strategy library feature of Tradesq. Now, the thing to remember here is the strategy library is going to contain both your strategies that you tested in the backtester and everyone else's strategies that they put through the backtester. So one of the main concepts of Tradesq is we're sharing and pooling our backtested strategy data from all users. So when you schedule something in the backtester, Tradesq is going to run through it to backtest it and make those results available to you and to everyone else on the platform. Your backtested results and everyone else's can be found in the strategy library, which is right up here. Now, if you don't like the idea of other people looking at your code, there's really two ways around it. First is the confidential plan. This plan over here will allow you to work in secrecy. This will keep all of your backtested information completely private. So this is if you want to exclude yourself from sharing all of those backtested results. You can see down here in private mode, nobody in the Tradesq community can view your backtests or strategies. So they can't see the results and they can't get to the code. So if that's a real concern, maybe you have a lot of proprietary information, you don't want that getting out there, this is the one for you. The other way around this is forward testing, which is the third tab over here. Now we're going to cover forward testing in another video, but when you schedule a forward test with your existing strategies, you can keep those private as well. So those are the two different ways that you can keep your code private. But in most cases, when you go through the smart backtesting feature over here, which was covered in another video, your results will be shared with the strategy library to everybody else out there using Tradesq. All right, let's get on with the strategy library. So the strategy library is going to contain two options, as you can see right here, strategy matrix and strategy screener. Let's start with the strategy matrix. Here are the results. We have a table that looks very similar to when you looked under smart backtesting, when you looked at those results. We have a list of different markets off on the left-hand side, and across the top are different time frames. Now, in smart backtesting, each of these numbers that are blue and are hyperlinks were edges, but under here, they're numbers of strategies. So under the currency market, AD, for daily, we have 11 strategies. For BP, we have 28, and 27 for DX, 31 for JPY, and 57 for CL. And then likewise for any of these, if we want to go under CL, which is crude market, we can see we have 13 strategies, 18 strategies, and 21 strategies for those 60-minute, 120-minute, and 180-minute respectively. Now, these aren't all of the strategies. This matrix is controlled by our screening parameters. If I click here, this will bring up the screening parameters. So this is telling Tradesq to filter all of the strategies that you have in your library and screen them with these parameters. We need a minimum number of trades, a minimum P&L, a minimum R2, a minimum return versus drawdown, and a minimum average dollar per trade. So we can tighten this up or loosen these values up to get different values in our matrix. Let's just go to crude oil on the daily. We can click that and we can see all the different strategies that fit the daily time frame for crude oil. Now we can also then see the number of edges. And we can come through here and see which ones have high number of edges. And yeah, it looks like these couple here at the top are pretty good. Here's one with 90, BB number 1. We can click that. Here is our screening parameters just as a reminder. And then here are the different edges for that particular strategy. So you see we clicked on a specific strategy, and then we could see the individual edges, which are the different back tests by changing the parameters. See, these have different parameters: 45, 18, 3000. Here's 45, 14, 3000. These, again, are what Tradesq called edges. So again, an edge is a given strategy with different parameter numbers. And this was showing what, about 90 different parameter sets meet our minimum criteria right here based upon our strategy screener. Then what we can do, of course, is select any one of these, see the back-tested results and the performance, and then, of course, the code. If I clicked on this, this would open up a window, and it would give you the code where you could cut and paste this and bring it into your platform. I'm not going to do that here. I don't want to display the code publicly. So that's crude oil, and you can see how many different strategies there are. It's quite a number. Let's go back out to the screener, go back to crude oil. Of course, what we can do is even go look at some ones on a 600-minute chart. We have 50 strategies here, and there they all are. And again, we can find ones with high number of edges. This looks like a good one. And let's just pick. And again, we could get the code for this. So you can see what a resource we have here. We have hundreds of people contributing strategies and strategy ideas, and it's all organized based upon our backtesting performance and different time frames. And we can come in here to our strategy matrix, set the actual minimum values that we're looking for, go to a market, let's say NQ, and we're interested in a smaller time frame, and we can see all the different strategies. It's really a great feature and contains a great amount of information. So you can see the real benefit of this type of service. You can go and grab the code and load it into your own platform. You can review it. You could change it. You'll probably learn a few things. You'll see what other people are doing, how people are handling stops, how they're handling the entry. It can really be an educational experience and give you a huge reservoir of ideas. So you can see that the strategy matrix really is a great way to view this information, and it's a great way to kind of go and eyeball all of this. Now, maybe you have more specific needs. What we can do is go up to the strategy screener. Now with the strategy screener, what we're going to do is actually tell it specifically what we're looking for. So we could start with a specific strategy name, but we don't know any strategy names, let's say. We could go for a specific market. We would highlight this and then select the specific market we're looking for, such as crude oil or gold, but I'm just going to go by sector. Let's say we're looking for something in the grain markets, and we're looking for, let's say like a 60-minute. We want an R2 above 0.85, and we need our trades above 50, average profit per trade 100, and we want the profit and drawdown ratio to be above 2. So we can get specific, and got to remember to tick these. You can't just put the values in. You have to highlight them with a tick mark. And so we're going to specifically look for this, this type of strategy. We'll press query here, and then we can see Tradesq has come with our specific query of a 60-minute chart with these parameters for the grain market. We can see these different markets coming up. Here's a soybean one I might be interested in. Supersonic kangaroo. Let's take a look at that strategy. And here is the strategy with the parameter settings and the backtest, and of course the code. All right, going back to our screener, maybe we want to eliminate the time frame and get more results. We can see now strategies appearing on the daily time frame as well as intraday. Another thing to note is you can come in here and organize these by clicking R2. I'm organizing these by R2. If you want to go by net profit versus drawdown, we can organize by that just by clicking the titles. I think you get the idea here. You can come in here and really have a lot of fun going through these and learning a lot by downloading some of the code and loading it into your platform. Now, one thing to keep in mind is this is all back-tested results. In another video, we're going to go over to forward testing. Forward testing will allow us to do something similar, search the entire Tradesq strategy library, but only on the walk forward data. So what you can basically do in the walk forward testing area is see which strategies are performing best on the walk forward unseen data. Now this is really cool and really a powerful feature. Again, we're going to look at that in another video.